How's it going, tiny little hot dog cuties? Today, we're going to be talking about how to pick which medical school to end up attending after getting a couple of acceptances. And guys, there's not much time left. It is mid-March, and people who have been accepted to medical school have to choose one specific medical school by April 30th. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 things I'm specifically looking out for out of the schools that I got accepted at to see whether or not which one is the best one for me to attend. And for all of you watching this video who haven't gone through the process of applying and interviewing and getting accepted at schools, use this as kind of like a preliminary video to see what you would do after you go through the process. Do not start comparing schools like this until you have acceptances, because if you do this before you even apply, you're going to pick and choose schools that are kind of out of reach for you, and it's probably going to keep you from getting in. The thing is that medical school is so competitive that you're not going to get everything that you exactly want from a school from your list of accepted schools. So if you do this before you even get accepted to a school, and you're doing it while you're making your list of schools to apply for, you're gonna set some really high expectations, which is going to be hard to actually reach. And with that out of the way, let's get started. The first and most important thing that I look at when I'm deciding which school to attend is the atmosphere of the school. And what I mean by that is, does the school's mission fit the mission that you have as someone who wants to become a doctor? You really want to align yourself with the school's missions and look at the different missions that each school has that you have been accepted to, and see which one that actually appeals to you the most, because that kind of school will give you the most satisfactory academic and social setting for you as someone who's going to become a doctor. Also, during your interview day, see what the climate is like, the social climate is like at the school by talking to current medical students. Do they look a little bit burnt out? Do they look way too carefree? Do they look like they spend Saturday nights hitting the books, or they spend Saturday nights going to social gatherings made by the school? That's really something you want to look at. If you're somebody who loves to stay at home, study 24/7, someone who really likes hitting it hard on the academics, you might want to go to a school that is far less liberal with academics than another school. Number 2, definitely look at how things are graded at each school. Now, in America, there are 3 main grading systems, okay? So some schools have the traditional A through F grading system, so you get an A for doing awesome, B for doing okay, C for doing and then D for doing really bad, and then F is like really terrible. So some schools do the very traditional grading system, and this one tends to be the most dislikable because of the fact that you're gonna be pitted against other medical students. It's not undergrad anymore where not everyone's gonna go into medicine. It's like everybody is going to be a doctor, so you're competing with very smart individuals to get A's. And then the second grading system is true pass fail. Now you have to make sure that whatever school you're looking at has a true pass fail system. Some schools say they're pass fail, but they're not really pass fail. So what true pass fail entails is that there's no grades. You either pass or you either fail. And at the end of your clinical years, when the dean writes you a letter for your residency applications, you're not going to be ranked with the other students. So it's true pass-fail. But not true pass-fail systems say they're pass-fail. Some of them have even more distinctions. They say high pass, pass, low pass, and then fail, or something like that, or low fail or high fail. those tend to rank you. There are also schools that say they're pass-fail and they still rank you. Yeah, so being ranked, regardless of whether or not they say pass-fail or high pass, low pass, pass, they're essentially kind of the same thing. The program directors during residencies will know your rank when they're determining whether or not you're a good candidate for their program. So needless to say, the most desirable grading system is true, pass, fail. But the caveat to that is that most of those schools that have true, pass, fail tend to be the top ranked schools. So they're kind of hard to reach, but you kind of have to look at those factors when you're determining where you want to go, because true, pass, fail means there's a lot of room for you to lax a little bit. But a lot of people who are incredibly competitive will definitely like the traditional grading system where you're kind of ranked with other students because they want to be the bestest, the greatest. They want to get the top ortho neuro residencies. Number 3, I really promote looking at the location of the school. And the reason is some people like me who are lifelong city dwellers are not gonna do that well in rural community schools. So I tend to have a much higher preference for schools that are in urban cities that are in warmer climates. Some people hate the cold. So really, when you have those acceptances, try to see which location you will see yourself most happy in. Because think about it, you're gonna be living at that location for at least 4 years. Sometimes a 5th year, sometimes a 6th year. Really depends, but at least 4 years, you're gonna be stuck in that location. And if you're absolutely miserable in that location, you're not gonna have a fun time. Number 4, this is probably one of the most important factors, is have a good sense of how students at that school do in their board examinations. So I think there are some resources online where you can see which schools have the highest average Usmle scores per class. It's really hard to come by, but you can ask around in Student Doctor Network and some other sites where they can tell you a good tier of where schools kind of fall in as far as Usmle pass rates and board scores. You want to go to the school that will give you the highest chance of success to do really well on the Usmles, and lots of people look down upon this, but try not to get so hung up on match statistics of previous year's classes at each school, because match rates are kind of person specific and class specific. It doesn't really say much about the school. However, I do realize it's a good indicator of the quality of education you're going to get at a school, but it should not be the ultimate determining factor on how competitive a school is compared to other schools. And believe it or not, getting into a USMD or DO school kind of means that you're going to get the same level of education and rigor throughout. It's pretty well standardized. Some might be a little more, some might be a little less, but all of them will get you ready to become a doctor. And finally, for number 5 of my top things that I look for when determining which school to attend, and not a lot of people will take this into account, but I do, and it's the coverage of student health at that school. Because think about it, if you guys get sick, you guys want to have a really good comprehensive health plan. You don't know what might come in the future for you. We might be healthy one day and get really sick the other day. And for someone like me who's kind of on a borderline of my health, I want to make sure that I'm going to a school that's going to take care of me if I ever get sick. And that's really important. Some schools, I've looked at their student health insurance policies. Some schools don't have really good comprehensive coverage. You want one that will really will take care of you if you ever get sick or have some medical emergency that you need to take care of, so that you can continue school once you're all better. So there you have it, guys. Those are my 5 top things that I look for when choosing which medical school that I'll ultimately attend after a number of acceptances. I would love to know what you guys are looking for please put it down in the comments below so it'll help future undergrads and future students who are trying to decide where to attend, because 5 factors isn't really enough, and I think I'm leaving some really important ones out, so I'd really love for you guys to pitch in. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was informational, it was helpful, somewhat entertaining. I love you guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, share this video. I'll see you on the next one, and follow me on the social medias. This has been